are live, and I know that we go live a lot, but this is a very special live. We are celebrating the Teach Better Conference. As many of you know, the Teach Better Conference will be October 14th and 15th, and we are literally just in the beginning stages of not only announcing our featured speakers, but also proposals open March 1st, and we can't wait for you to join this lineup. I get to be live here with Alexis Shepard, who I am just so geeking out to be able to interview here. And remember, you can always post your comments live. We're currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And we cannot wait to share all the goodness that Alexa is going to bring at the Teach Better Conference. So I know typically I would tell you like to go grab a cup of coffee. I think adult beverages are totally appropriate right now, but make sure you're in the comments saying hello and let's get started. Friends, this is the time. Share this in your stream. Celebrate the fact that we are highlighting Teach Better Conference with the one and only Alexis Shepard.
Thank you so much for having me on. Like, I feel like this is the third or fourth thing I've done with Teach Better now, being a part of the Teach Better fam. So I am so geeked for this conference, and it has been so hard for me to sit on this secret for as long as I've been sitting on it. Y'all swore me to silence.
I know. I want to talk about that because people don't know. The rumor is that I can't keep a secret, but we had you committed October that you were going to be at this event, and I kept the secret. You kept the secret. I'm so impressed.
I know. Well, it's so funny because when y'all first messaged me, I was like, oh my gosh, that is forever to sit on this, because I'm so excited about it. Every time I link up with you guys, whether it's been through a Twitter chat or through the podcast, it is just this time period where we don't have enough time to talk. So I'm really excited that we'll get to hang out in person along with all of you. I hope y'all will come hang out with us and just really be able to create that space that we've created online so many times, but have had to cut short because of course we want to respect people's time. But I just love that we'll have more time and space to just vibe.
Yes, absolutely. And I have just been such a stalker following you on social media. I'm so excited to not only continue to introduce you to our Teach Better family here, but also to continue for me to learn about you, because I love consuming your content. I love learning from you. And I think not only live here and other, celebrations we'll be doing, but also at the event itself will be so cool to just continue these conversations. So Alexis, if people aren't connected with you yet, maybe this is their first time meeting you, which is so exciting for them that they get to go connect with you on all the platforms and learn about all the things you love. But tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do in education? We want to hear everything.
Okay. So my name is Alexis. I am the Afro educator on every social media platform. So I am a former teacher, and I'm still getting my mouth around saying that. I've only been a former teacher for about a month. If you have not checked out my post, I actually wrote a love letter to my students as a sign off on my Instagram. It's called To All the Kids I've Taught Before, playing off of To All the Boys I've Loved Before. And it was just basically my way of sort of processing moving out of the profession. But I always have had a passion for education. But even when I started teaching, which I guess I should mention that I taught for 10 years, probably relevant information. I just get so excited that I move a little fast. But I taught for 10 years, and I've known for a while that I wanted to sort of move out of teaching, and it does happen to coincide with the Great Resignation. But I will say that all of the things from the pandemic were not the cause of me leaving teaching. I've just always felt that I wanted to do something else still in the education realm. And so currently, I am actually an undergraduate admissions counselor for diversity and recruitment at a relatively large university. And I'm absolutely loving it. So it's funny because I taught elementary and then I taught middle school, and now I'm primarily working with high school students and helping to empower them to take control of their college choice and The office that I'm currently working in, our motto is that we're counselors first and then representatives for the university second. So, it's about empowering kids to, um, you know, pursue higher education, even if it's not at our institution, and equipping them with tools to do that. So, it's still very like K-12 adjacent. So that's my 9 to 5.
I love it. Alexis, I have always loved following you because you're not only so transparent, you share so many ideas, but you focus a lot on mindset. You want people to really ensure that they're really understanding what they're looking at and looking through the right lens. And so when I heard you were leaving the classroom, you got to phrase this differently. You didn't leave education, you didn't even leave teaching, really. You left the physical classroom
Yes.
where you see, 25 kids a day, and you transitioned. When I heard that originally, I was like, no, we lost a good one. What happened? Right. And then now hearing, I want you to dive into more of your mindset in this new role, because now I am just so empowered by this new role you're fulfilling, because gosh, we need people in this role. You have a huge impact on students right now. I'd love to continue to dive into that.
Yeah, absolutely. So in my current role, and I actually just celebrated my 1 month on this job. But essentially I'm learning about all of the ins and outs of college admissions. And one of the I've made so many connections with what I've been doing before. Like one of the things that I've thought about is like when I taught middle school, having come from the elementary setting, one of the first things that was evident to me was, wow, we tell these kids a lot about middle school and elementary school that's false, or we set them up in some ways. We don't set them up intentionally, to like struggle, but some of the things that we tell students that we have the best intentions, but we're really just kind of guessing, sort of sets them up in ways that, like, as a middle school teacher, you kind of have to help them unlearn. So, with being an admissions counselor, I see that as well. And being like behind the curtain and seeing what that process is like, I honestly wish that, and I'm actually working on, like, in the very beginning stages of drafting out some programming for middle school students, because fun fact, most college admissions decisions are based on your grades and your academic performance in your 9th through 11th grades. And Ray, how many people treat 9th grade like it's just this transition that doesn't matter? Like,
It's true. I mean, honestly, it's so funny that as we get to the point where where people are making big decisions, students are making big decisions of themselves, any mistake that they've already made, they can't fix.
right. And I don't think, I always knew that I wanted to go to college, but I don't think that I thought 9th grade was that important. I was like, I've still got 3 other years. And most kids, unless they already have exposure or they have maybe parents who have already sort of built that like mentality, um, aren't really starting to take college preparation seriously until junior or senior year. And it's too late then, because those decisions are made, before you're even finished with your senior year grades. You're not even finished, with the first semester before those things start being processed. And so, thinking about, like, one idea that I had was, really starting to talk to 8th graders, because I think that there's like not enough emphasis on how important 9th grade is. And so that's just one of, many connections that I've already made, and how K-12 adjacent this job is, and thinking about ways that classroom teachers can, um, I guess, for lack of a better word, say like better prepare our students, and sort of channeling them in the right direction and providing them with like resources, and resources like human resources, like people, who can provide that level of information. So it's been really, really fun. And I've been like a sponge soaking up knowledge about college admission. So don't get me started. I will word vomit.
Well, I love this perspective that you're able to bring, because my like big passion, like my soapbox topic, is always that we need to expose students to all the careers that we possibly can at the earliest age humanly possible. So when they're entering college or when they're applying to colleges, they really do have a full toolbox of things they like, things that they know they don't like, and so they can make the best decision. What you're talking about now is not just emphasizing, yeah, you need to know what you're going to do in college, but how do you get into college? How do you prepare to be a successful adult. I mean, in many
Yeah.
capacities. So these go together so well. I'm so excited for you to continue this journey. And I'm so thrilled that you can bring your 10 years of classroom experience into now working with high schoolers that are entering into this next phase of life, which I think is so powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of circling back to something that you said a little while ago when you talked about how, you didn't really leave. You just no longer occupy the physical space. And that's something that I was sort of processing through like over Christmas break and throughout January. And my new, like, I guess I want to call it like a mantra that I've been operating with is former teacher, forever educator, because I'm still in that role. You know what I mean? Like I'm educating students and their families on college admissions and educating, high school counselors and other current classroom teachers about college admissions. We think that like I came from teaching sixth grade, and sixth grade feels really far from college. So it's really easy to like de-emphasize it or be like, you still have a lot of time. But the reality is as soon as those kids leave middle school, like it's go time.
Mhm.
So, I'm really grateful to still be able to be in that space and to still, be able to keep a pulse on something that I love so much.
A really interesting thing, I had a ton of meetings today. Like it was such a busy day. And one thing that kept coming up was this opportunity to focus on the fact that we can make any decision we want. We have the power to make decisions. But the best way to make a decision is to do it not out of ignorance, to be able to have all the options, all the facts in front of us. And
Yes.
then we can really own whatever decision we decide to go with. And I think that's a real component of what your passion is developing into, is you're looking and saying, I don't mind if a student decides to goof off in ninth grade, or, I don't mind if a student takes time to get to learn what they want to do, but we need to be exposing and emphasizing our students to the power that they have in front of them when they leave middle school. And I love that you're a part of this movement. I think this is such a cool journey.
Yes to all of that. And that's something that I see as an undercurrent, like that empowerment piece that you're talking about through all of the things that I'm passionate about. So, like, in my 9 to 5, I have that piece of that. And then, as the Afro educator, I also have that piece of that as well, because that's been that whole journey too. And it's funny because I hope that people know, and I hope that I'm transparent enough for people to see that as I am working to empower other educators, like I'm also going through that journey as well and recognizing like what kind of power I have and how much power I have, to control aspects of that like teaching narrative that add to some of the challenges that we experience in the K-12 setting. And so that's something that's really important to me, because I think that most of us only really truly use or access so little of the power that we really have, because we've been conditioned to believe that we don't have it.
Yeah.
We buy that.
Mm. Alexis, it was an impossible decision to pick our featured speakers for our Teach Better conference. Like honestly, there are so many people in our network. We're so excited to open up proposals so that people can submit to join our lineup on March 1st. It's open all March, all of April. We want to give teachers plenty of time to think through their session proposal and submit. And oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about how that's all going to be selected. Thankfully, not by me, it's the committee. But I will tell you, we were super, super intentional trying to pick who are the 12 educators that are really going to be like the face of the Teach Better conference. And I was so overjoyed when you said yes, because I just know there's so many people that are going to be so excited to meet you and talk shop with you and learn from you. I know you don't know what session you're going to present. It's months and months away. But, Teach Better is all about being a little bit better today than we were yesterday and a little bit better tomorrow than you were today. For you, what does that mean? How do you relate to that mindset, that phrase?
Well, one of the things that I think about, and like followed me for a while. So, one of the things that I'm really passionate about in the education space and as a former teacher is talking about teacher wellness, but in like this radical self-care sense. And I think being a little bit better means looking at how we can take like actionable steps to like be the ripples of change, so to speak, because we're at this point, and we've been at this point. Like, let's not act like the pandemic all of a sudden brought this on. It just, exacerbated it. But I think we're at this point where, and I've noticed that, like, we are clamoring, desperate for change in K-12 here in the US. And there's always all of this like very nebulous talk about top down change. We want, the top people in charge, federal, state, district leaders to make decisions that we feel are in our interest. People talk about doing things for the kids. But in doing things for the kids, like, we are the sort of first line of defense. And so I say all of that to say that it's important for us to be able to like have the capacity to serve our students. And in order to do that, and in order to begin to really create the change that we need, it's really going to start with us. And I like to think of us like those beginning dominoes, or like that middle ripple, in the in the pond. I'm like envisioning Pocahontas from from Disney. And so I think that's what being better tomorrow is about. I almost kind of look at it as like, how can I project that better to like my local community? And then thinking about how I can empower, those individuals to like empower their local communities. I think we really underestimate like our influence, and the fact that, like, we really are all influencers in our own right. And I think it's about being intentional about that. And it's about being intentional in like what we're spreading and like projecting to other people, because it really does have the power to create change.
Mm-hmm. So good, so powerful. I cannot wait for the Teach Better family to continue to connect with you. I know your social media is on the screen, and I know we can't give away any more secrets, but I will say we were able to release 2 speakers that we've been celebrating over the last 2 weeks. You obviously are one, and then Jed Derryberry as well. Jed is also working in academia, and I love this because there's so many connections here to the work that you do. He's working with college students and trying to bring them back to early ed, like pre-K, kindergarten, first grade. And it's so interesting because his passion space is using the strategies he uses at the elementary level with his college students, with his, students that he's working with. And I think it's so wonderful that we're able to release you together, because you're such different educators. You're gonna be able to share on such different expertise, but there really is so many connections that we can make between grade levels and different students because of our background in education. So if any of you listening are eager to learn from Jed as well, you want to learn about what he's all about, get excited that you get to meet him as well at the Teach Better conference. He'll be live with us tomorrow morning, actually at 7 a.m. Eastern during Daily Drop-In with Jeff. And so that will be a really good opportunity to also get a little taste of what these 2 speakers are all about. And then I'm going to be very careful what I say, but then we're releasing 2 more speakers on Monday. And so this is a 14-week process where we are announcing some really incredible people. So Alexis, I know that you know the lineup already, but you're joined by some good people.
Well, I mean, Teach Better, y'all pick good people. Y'all attract great people. I love being a part of the Teach Better fam. Never have imagined that I would be in this situation from having done that one podcast with y'all a couple of years ago. It was just like instant magic. And so I'm really excited to like have that live, and for like you guys to be able to experience that too, and to be able to connect on, all of these different levels.
So awesome. I so appreciate you coming live with us. I do want to remind everyone that early bird registration is only open until the end of the month. So it's February 7th right now as we're live, even if you're catching this after the fact. At the very end of the month, early bird registration goes away. That means that you will pay $100 more for a ticket. I don't believe in paying full price ever. I am a sales and clearance queen. So please go save $100 and spend it on literally anything that would make you happy. Like, please do early bird registration. That will end at the end of the month. That's over at teachbetterconference.com. And then, as we said before, March 1st officially is when you can all submit to join our lineup as well. So you can present alongside Alexis, Jed, and everyone else that we announce as well at the conference. So if you haven't written October 14th and 15th down, definitely worthwhile. Alexis, thank you for coming live and hanging out and introducing yourself again to the community.
Thank you so much. I'm so geeked. I can't wait to see you and y'all in October.
It's going to be so fun. Don't forget to go connect with Alexis on social media, and we will see you all tomorrow for Daily Drop-In.